Okay. So I'm STuso, and I did my project on mobile app development. So I've always been interested in computers and technology, but what recently got me into programming was actually eBay. One day I went to add a listing to eBay, and I saw that you could add custom HTML code to the description. So I thought that was pretty cool, and I decided to try to learn that. So when I was learning HTML, I also got into CSS and JavaScript. CSS is what styles HTML. It basically makes web pages look the way they do. And JavaScript is a programming language that lets you add kind of interactive features to web pages. And I've also been interested in photography. And when I use Photoshop and stuff to edit my pictures, and that got me into graphic design. And so programming and graphic design are two big pieces of mobile app development. And I'd also just gotten a new smartphone, so I decided to try to make some apps. So Android and iOS are the two main mobile operating systems. Android is owned by Google, and iOS is owned by Apple. They have a lot of differences, but as far as developing for them goes, two main things. One big thing is that they use different programming languages, which I mean, basically, if you want to write something that does the same thing on both platforms, it'll look very different for the two operating systems. And another big difference is that okay, but there's a lot of other differences. But if you want to know more about those, you should read my paper, which was based on the question, what factors influence the success of mobile applications. And I found that one of the biggest things is the platform the app is going to be released to, and whether or not it takes into consideration the characteristics of that platform. So while I was working on Android about a year ago, I came across a library, which is a tool that makes doing certain things in the program easier. That was made by a company in Charlottesville called WillowTree. And at the time, I didn't really think about it, but when I decided to do this for my project, I realized that maybe I should go there for my internship. And so it worked out pretty well. And WillowTree is a company in Charlottesville that makes Android and iOS apps. They've worked with some pretty big companies such as these. And it was a good experience overall. I didn't do any actual work for the company, but I got to shadow these developers and sit in on some meetings and see how the company works overall. I learned a lot from them. Andrew Carter is an iOS developer, and before I went there, I really had no idea how to program for iOS at all. And after the first day, he taught me how to do some basic stuff. And by the end of the whole internship, I felt I had a pretty good base for developing for iOS. And Eric Richardson is an Android developer, and even though I already knew a lot about Android, I still had some questions and things I didn't understand, and he helped me out a lot with that. So for my community service, I've made an app about the periodic table for Android and iOS. It's on the Google Play Store, and unfortunately, it's not on the App Store yet for iPhone, but it will be in the next few weeks. I was originally just going to make this kind of as like a learning experience for Android, but I thought I came up with some good ideas, and it ended up being pretty good, I think. So I have a demo video here. This is on Android. I don't have a video that but so as you zoom in, the information changes to make some more detailed stuff to be more zoomed in. And there's like an information screen with lots of properties about each element. There's an electron shell diagram, and there are links to Wikipedia and Outlook if anyone wants to know more about an element. Another feature is that you can search, if you can't find an element, you can search through them, find their name or symbol, and show you where they're located. And another thing is you can change what color, what the coloring of the table to be based on different things. Like this is showing what block each element is in, or something like the boiling point. And some other properties like you can see the more dense ones are blue and the less dense ones are yellow. You can also view them in a list and sort them by some different things. And click on one to view the information screen. So there's also a reference section which has some commonly used formulas in chemistry. If anyone has trouble remembering those. And there's also a quizzes section. It only has one quiz right now, but and there's a section where you can enter a chemical formula, and it'll tell you the composition and like what percentage each element is of the total weight of the molecule. And okay, so I don't have a video, but here is the iOS app showing some of the sections. And as I said, that'll be on the store in the next few weeks. So the big thing that I took away from this project was how to program for iOS, which was the goal, so that was good. And I think I also learned how to manage my time better. There was a lot of work to do, and I had to do it in a short amount of time. And my advice to future intermediate seniors would be to definitely start your projects at least for using you. And so one of the attacks this will have in the world is anyone in the world can download my app from the App Store or Google Play for free and use it as a learning tool in a reference for periodic table. And in the fall, I plan on attending one of these universities for computer science. Any questions?
How did you get Apple to say yes?
Oh, okay. Well, I haven't submitted it to the store yet, but I mean, I don't think I have a problem getting it.
Right? Do you give it to them?
Well, I have to submit it to the store, and then it goes through an approval process. I think it gets reviewed by someone on there.
And do you get any profit?
Well, I could if I put ads on it, or I could probably charge $1 if I wanted to, but I'll probably just keep it free.
That's awesome.
Your app was really impressive. When you're working on that, did that spur any ideas for additional apps in the future?
I mean, no, not really yet. I mean, I've mostly just been focusing on this one. This project, yeah.
Do you find a preference for Android or iOS? Is one easier to program than any other, or are they just different?
I'd say it's like there's some things that are easier on Android and some things that are easier on iOS, so it's probably not one that I prefer.
Which one would be easier for the average student?
I don't know. Probably I don't know.
Did you look at what other types of apps were out there for periodic tables now? And if so, what did you do to differentiate yours from those?
Yeah, so I looked when I first started it, like when I thought I was going to do it as like a learning experience, I looked and I saw that a lot of them were like outdated or just like didn't have very good features. So one thing was the search feature, which one of them charged like $1 for that. But also there's like, as you zoom in, like the information changes. And I don't know, I think mine is just like has more features in one app than most of the other ones. Alex?
How long did you spend developing the app before you released it into the store?
Well, Android, when I first started programming it, it was like I didn't really know anything about programming at all. So it took me a while to get started, but so I think for Android, I worked on it for about 6 months. But for iOS, since I already had that experience with Android, it only took me about 3 weeks, I think, to have about the same amount of features as the Android one.
Very impressive.
What advice would you give to another student who is considering programming and app development?
I mean, the way I learned was just basically Google. Like, there's a lot of classes and stuff online, which I think is a good way to start. And if you have any problems, you can just search for them, and there's tons of forums out there that people give a lot of advice and tips on how to do stuff. Mr. Carroll.
Stephen, you obviously took the Blue Ridge computer programming course last year. We're always looking at that curriculum and saying, what can we do? Kind of look down the line, with the future of programming. One of the things we're looking at is the possibility of adding some more mobile computing into that. Any advice you would have for us in terms of things we should be looking at to incorporate into that course?
I mean, that gave me a pretty good basis on for programming, but I'm not sure. I mean, I'll have to think about that.